So just like that, all of a sudden, in two matches, Arsenal have gone from possibly winning a quadruple to being out of two competitions. And honestly speaking, this one is more shocking. This Southampton loss is a bit more shocking. The Man City loss in the Carabao Cup final, that's understandable. It was not a great display, and I know Arsenal fans were not happy with the display there. But losing to Southampton is completely different. And if there's any Arsenal fan who's really angry, I fully understand. Like, I think it's a really big shocker in terms of how the game should have gone. You expect that Arsenal are playing Southampton, who are in the second division. Arsenal are the first team, best team in the Premier League this season. So why are they losing to Southampton of all teams? But now we see that Arsenal are out of the FA Cup as they have been knocked out of the Carabao Cup in the final. And now all of a sudden there are only two titles to win. However, I would still say that these two titles are still the biggest titles. They're still the biggest options. If you spoke to an Arsenal fan before the game or before this season started and they said they would be, and you told them they will be 9 points clear in the Premier League title race and they will be in the quarterfinals of the Champions League this season, of course they'll be happy with it. So it's a bit unfortunate for them that they're out of the FA Cup and also out of the Carabao Cup. I'm not complaining because I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I'm not complaining at all. No quadruple for them. But, they're still not in a bad place. But when you have a loss like this, especially after losing your last game, and then you have the run in for the Premier League, while Man City, who have just destroyed Liverpool 4-0, are running towards getting this title. They're going to put all the pressure on them, and they just have to keep winning games, including beating Arsenal, which will probably be a tough one. But all of a sudden, the Arsenal heads may be coming down and they need to lift their heads back up because if they do not, then there's a big problem for Arsenal. On the other hand, we also saw Chelsea win today, 7-0. I'm absolutely not shocked. It was Stamford Bridge, and it was a good response because they needed to win this game. Like, it was very important for them to win this game. I will come back to Chelsea, but I think for now I'm just going to talk about Arsenal. So, first and foremost, like I said, this is a shocker. And it could be a psychological blow, which is what I was trying to explain in the intro, where I was saying that when you think about it and look at how things have been in terms of Arsenal, they've just gone from being on top of the world, winning so many games, going into a Carabao Cup final where they felt, you know what, we're going there to win this. We're better than Man City right now. We have a better team. We're in better form. And City schooled them in that final. And now in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, it's like, oh, all of a sudden we're playing against a team that we should be beating, and you find it difficult to beat them. In fact, you go behind twice, and the second time there was absolutely nothing they could do about it. They just looked uninspired. Now you have to be honest and say that first and foremost, this was not their best team. And then there were a couple of mistakes here and there, especially for that first goal. I saw the way Ben White mistimed this jump, and honestly, like, I know Arsenal fans probably are just tired of this guy at this point. I know he hasn't done much wrong, but when you do have the opportunity to come and play and you make a mistake as big as that, there is a problem, and that's not what you want to be seeing from Arsenal in general. So I think, all of a sudden from looking at getting a clean sweep at 4 trophies, it's down to 2. And, I know everybody will call them butlers. I know everyone will call them butlers, but let's see what happens in the Premier League. If they do not win the Premier League, then I will confidently say that Arsenal are truly butlers. But there's still time. There's still 9 points clear. But if they do lose this league, it will be very, very embarrassing. I just don't think it can be that bad. But with the way they've lost 2 games in a row, you can start to see a reason why they could have doubts. And maybe I'm being a bit too confident about Arsenal in general. I think that they will find a way to bring it down and still get the title won. But when you start seeing things like this, the hope starts to dwindle a bit. It's like, do we feel as confident as we did before? Probably not. So, like I said, for a team that's 9 points clear in the Premier League title race, this is a really, really poor result. Really, really, really poor result. And they'll probably go back into this one thinking that we have to find a way to bounce back against Sporting over the next week when they are trying to get into the semi-final of the Champions League. So, honestly, I don't think it's the end of the world for Arsenal, but I think there are worrying signs. There are really, really worrying signs in this one. But let's talk about Chelsea. Chelsea, they were absolutely fantastic today. They did not hold they did not hold back. They went ahead and they destroyed Port Vale. Now, I think that should have happened. Port Vale are literally last in the third division. So this is a team that's about to get relegated from the third division, playing against Chelsea. No matter how bad Chelsea have been, they are supposed to absolutely wipe the floor with these guys. So Hato scored very early. João Pedro got on the score sheet. There was an own goal. Adarabayo scored. Andre Santos scored. Estevao scored. And at the very end, Garnacho scored a penalty. He still had to get his shots. And Port Vale had 0 shots on target. So I'm not even surprised by this. But looking at how the FA Cup is now looking like, we still have Man City there. We have Chelsea there. We have Southampton, who I think will be the team to go out in the next round, because they face either Man City, Chelsea, or possibly one of Leeds and West Ham. So I don't know. I think I'll probably like to see Chelsea and Man City in the final, just to have like one of the best possible games you can possibly get. So I'd really love to see that, but I think we'll just have to watch and see how things go for that one. But overall, I mean, clean sheet for Chelsea, they must be happy about that, especially after conceding in their last 4 games, like up to 10 goals or more. So it must be a really good one for them, and they must be going into the next few games feeling a bit more confident. I know they're out of the Champions League, but now it's back to Premier League and focusing on trying to make sure that they finish in top 4, top 5. But yeah, good one for them. But that's it for this one. A bit of a different one as well, change of location again. But I will be back to my normal location by the next video. But thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and make sure you watch one of these videos before you leave. I'll see you guys there. Cheers.